Yes, please come in. You're Mr. Mayank Kumar Singh.
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning,
ma'am.
Please take your
Good
seat.
morning, sir.
Please take your seat. You're coming from Chhattisgarh.
Yes, ma'am.
And you have done your engineering from?
Yes, ma'am.
You have done your engineering from which college?
Ma'am, Billa Institute of Technology.
And which year pass out?
2016, ma'am.
And they have been working somewhere?
Ma'am, in between I have worked as a doubt solver for 2 years, and apart from that I have been preparing.
Doubt solver?
Yes, ma'am.
What is the concept of doubt solver?
Ma'am, student posts their doubt in the website, and my part is to solve the question whichever I am comfortable in. They provide me 2 hours to provide solution for one question. So that was my part.
Very good. Coming from Chhattisgarh, can you tell me the power scenario, general power scenario of Chhattisgarh? I mean, how are they performing?
Ma'am, the installed capacity of Chhattisgarh is around 26 gigawatts, out of which, ma'am, 23.5 gigawatt is of thermal generation, 120 megawatt of generation is from hydropower, and 1.6 gigawatt of generation is from solar renewable energy resource, ma'am.
Okay. Can you tell me something about the application of Sabhagya scheme in Chhattisgarh?
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, they have been a high performer in implementing that.
Ma'am, there is one scheme in Chhattisgarh which is similar to Saubhagya scheme. It is Chhattisgarh Sahaj Bijli Bill Yojana, and according to this, ma'am, the government is providing facility to avail 30 units of free electricity to the poor families. But ma'am,
Chhattisgarh also has been facing major problems in terms of Naxalism.
yes, ma'am.
Can you explain which are the areas which come under Red Corridor and how Chhattisgarh has been tackling this Naxalism issue in your state?
Ma'am, the regions are mostly the southern part of Chhattisgarh, the Bastar area, Dantewada area, Sukma. But ma'am, I'm not sure what steps are being taken place there.
Not sure about the steps that have been taken up.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell me the implementation or the integration of artificial intelligence in your branch of engineering, electrical engineering?
Yes, ma'am.
Just tell me a few examples.
Ma'am, I feel with the help of AI, the monitoring and controlling can be done effectively in the power system, and that is it, ma'am.
I was waiting for some answers like smart grid, smart meter. I mean, they see a very direct application.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, anyways. What are your subjects of interest?
Ma'am, I like electrical machine and power system.
Okay, I'll transfer your interview to the technical experts now.
Yes, ma'am.
We'll come back with your hobbies in other areas, okay?
Thank you, ma'am.
Sir.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Mayank,
Yes, sir.
what are the types of earthing?
Sir, I'm not able to recollect it, sir.
Okay, can you explain about the smart grid?
Sir, smart grid is having a two-way of power supply. Bidirectional power flow of supply is possible in smart grid. Secondly, sir, in smart grid we have communication also. So with the help of smart meters and this wide area monitoring system and with PMU, so the monitoring of the power, the real-time scenario can be taken out.
Okay, what is this per unit system?
Sir, in case of power system, this per unit system help us to analyze those circuits in which multi-level voltage, multi-ton voltage is there, sir.
Only in the power system?
No, sir, we also use it in electrical machine because per unit calculation, the range in which this calculation is less, sir, is of lower range, sir.
Okay. What is the difference between the fuse and the circuit breaker?
Sir, circuit breaker is used in power system. So whenever there is a overload or fault condition, circuit breaker isolate this faulty segment by, and there is one quenching medium, arc quenching medium is there, sir. So with the help of this, they isolate the circuit. Whereas, sir, in case of fuse, the wire in the fuse get burns if the operating condition is beyond its
For
normal
this
value.
fuse, which type of the material they use for fuse wire?
Sir, I'm not sure about exact, but I feel, sir, copper wire is being used.
Copper wire.
Yes, sir.
In case of circuit breakers, one of the circuit breaker is a vacuum circuit breaker.
Yes, sir.
What is the special advantage of this vacuum circuit breaker?
Sorry, sir, I'm not aware of it.
Okay, what is this swing equation?
What is this?
Swing equation.
Swing equation. So swing equation gives us the dynamic stability of synchronous generator. If there is any power mismatch between the load and electrical load and the mechanical power, then it gives us the idea that how the load angle is being changed.
Can you explain what is the difference between the steady state stability and transient stability?
So whenever a power system network is subjected to small disturbance, at that time, so steady state study is being done. So the steady state stability limit is around when delta is equal to 90 degree. Whereas coming to the transient stability, so whenever the magnitude of the disturbance is of large value, then linearization of the non-linear differential equation is not possible, and there we use this transient stability. So the value of delta is less than 90.
Okay. Can you tell 4 differences between the synchronous motor and induction motor?
So synchronous motor can provide high torque even at low speed. Secondly, sir, synchronous motor is not self-starting in nature. Synchronous motor can improve the power factor of the system in whichever system it is working. Thirdly, sir, synchronous motor always run at constant speed. Yes.
How the synchronous motor gives the high torque at low speed? Why not induction motor?
So the starting torque of induction motor depends upon the rotor resistance. So if we look into this torque slip characteristic, for squirrel cage induction motor this value will be less, and for route rotor we can increase it by connecting the external resistance through slip rings at the instant of start. Whereas sir, in case of synchronous motor, there is a magnetic locking between the stator and the rotor, so it will always have the high torque.
Okay, what is the hunting phenomena?
Sir, whenever synchronous generator is subjected to variable load condition, during that time, sir, the rotor is oscillating. Sir, actually, rotor is not oscillating. The delta is oscillating about its moon position, and the rotor is hunting for new stable point where it can operate.
What is the meaning of the stable point in that aspect? What is the meaning of stable point? Can you elaborate? Is it speed or power or any other quantity? What is stable point?
Sir, I feel whatever the electrical power requirement is, if machine is able to fulfill that requirement, for that delta has to be constant, sir.
Okay. Why the single phase induction motor is not self-starting?
Sir, in case of single phase induction motor, the MMF is pulsating in nature. Because of this, it produces pulsating torque. This is also explained by double field revolving theory, in which we assume that rotor is subjected to two various field. The one is said to be forward field, another one is backward field, and because of the interaction of these two fields, rotor is not building torque in or experiencing force in any direction, sir.
Okay. For starting up this single phase induction motor, different methods are there. Capacitor start and capacitor run.
Yes, sir.
In these two type of motors, can you give comment about the rating of capacitors? Which one have the high rating? Capacitor start or capacitor run?
Sir, I am not aware about the exact values, sir.
Okay. My last question. Can you tell some advantage of the air core transformer?
Sir, in air core transformer, there won't be any non-linearity. So, flux will remain sinusoidal for sinusoidal magnetizing current. So, I don't think, sir, there will be harmonics.
Okay. Any other advantage? Can you give comment about losses?
So, losses will also be less, sir.
Why? Which losses are less?
So, there won't be any core, so core losses won't be there, sir.
Okay. Sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Mayank. In electric vehicles, there are some basic building blocks.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, what are those blocks?
So we have an electric motor. It can be of induction motor type, or it could be permanent magnet synchronous motor. Secondly, sir, we have a voltage inverter to change the voltage. We have cyclo converter to change the frequency. So we have battery pack which will provide the power. Then there will be one controller which will control the speed when we are reversing.
Okay,
the
understood. Out of these two, between IC engine car and battery electric vehicle, which one is more efficient, energy efficient?
Sir, electric vehicle will be more energy efficient.
Okay, so how much they are efficient? Suppose we are supplying fuel or electricity. So how much they are converting this fuel in the vehicle running or energy in the vehicle running?
Sir, if it is induction motor type, the efficiency would reach to 90%. But if it is permanent magnet synchronous motor, efficiency also can reach up to 97.5%.
And what about IC engine car? How much they are efficient?
So their efficiency lies between 25 to 30%.
Okay. And do you have any idea about hybrid cars? How much they are efficient? Are they more efficient from IC engine or less efficient?
So yeah, they're more efficient than
More
IC engine.
efficient. Okay, very good. Any scheme, any government scheme that government of India is using to promote electric vehicles?
So there is FAME India program too, under which government is trying to boost the domestic manufacturing industry of EVs and their components. Secondly, they are providing the subsidies to reduce the upfront cost of EVs.
What is the full form of FAME?
It is faster adoption in manufacturing of electric vehicles.
Very good. Now, why lithium-ion batteries are preferred over nickel-cadmium batteries to make the electric vehicles?
Sir, I'm not sure about the exact reason, but if you allow me, may I guess it?
You can try. You can tell us advantages of lithium-ion batteries.
Sir, I feel lithium-ion batteries can provide more energy as compared to their weight. So this is one of the reasons.
And because there are many reasons.
Yes, sir.
Okay. How solar cell works?
Sir, in solar cell, whenever the light falls on the surface, sir, I feel the electrons in the valence band absorb the energy from this spectrum of light, and it will reach to the conduction band. And if we complete the circuit, the current will start flowing in it.
Okay. So what type of material do we use?
So like which amorphous or crystalline solid?
For making the solar cell, what type of material do we use?
Sir, if we make it from monocrystalline, it will be more efficient, sir.
So monocrystalline what?
Monocrystalline semiconducting materials.
Okay, monocrystalline semiconductor. And one more point, we are using PN junction diodes
Yes,
in the
sir.
circuit. So are they forward biased or reverse biased?
Sir, please explain the question again.
We are using PN junction diodes.
Yes, sir.
And by cascading them in series connection, we are forming solar cells. Okay.
Sir. Yes, sir.
So they are connected in which form? Forward biased form or reverse biased form?
Sir, I feel it is forward bias, sir.
It is forward biased. Okay. And any scheme which is related to solar cell?
Sorry, sir, I'm not able to recollect it.
Have you heard about Atal Jyoti Yojana?
Yes, sir, I've heard of it.
Do you know what are the key objectives?
No, sir.
Kusum Yojana?
No, sir.
Okay. How smart meter works?
Sir, in smart meter, there are sensors. With the help of this sensor, it will monitor the real-time power demand of a place where it is installed. Secondly, in smart meters, net metering is being done. So as if any load is also participating in the generation, then on the basis of net power consumption, it will provide the billing. There will be
So
one
what is difference between normal electricity meter and smart meter?
Sir, normal electricity meter will won't have any communication in it. It won't have any real-time sensors to gather the data. Or
So which type of sensor do we use?
So that I'm not sure, sir.
Okay. Now there are many types of core losses. What are those losses?
So we have eddy current loss and hysteresis loss.
Okay. Suppose hysteresis loop, there are two hysteresis loops. Okay, their height is same but width is different. Understood the question?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Height
sir.
same but width is different. So in these two materials, what will be the difference?
Difference in terms of losses.
Difference in terms of losses or different in terms of magnetic properties.
Okay, sir. So the one which has higher width, it will have more hysteresis loss. It will have more flux as well. So the one which is of wider width, we can use it to form permanent magnet.
And what about retentivity and coercivity?
So the one which is having higher more width will have more coercivity, whereas their length is same, so retentivity will remain same.
What is coercive field?
Sir, it is the field required. It is an external field required to bring down the residual magnetism of a magnetic material to zero value.
What is the difference between ferrimagnetic material and antiferromagnetic material?
Sir, in antiferromagnetic material, the magnetic domains are antiparallel with respect to each other. So when we place it in the external magnetic field, the dipoles which are in favorable will tends to grow, and which is unfavorable to that direction, it will tend to reduce. So net magnetization will be less than ferromagnetic material. Whereas in case of ferrimagnetic material, they're also popularly known as ferrites. It will have more conductivity. It will have more resistivity. So it can be used in those places where we want
What
to reduce the
about
losses.
magnetic dipole alignment?
Of ferrimagnetic material, sir. Sir, that I'm not sure, sir.
Okay, so that is all from my side.
Okay. Mayank,
Yes, sir.
can you tell me what is the difference between a generator and a motor?
Sir, in generator, with the help of external torque, we generate electricity and provide electrical power. Whereas in case of motor, we draw electrical power and supply the mechanical torque.
Okay. So, can you tell me what are the main components of a DC machine?
So we have stator where field winding will be there. We have rotor where we have armature winding. There will be commutator, and there is brush. We have bushes.
Okay, understood. What is short pitch winding?
So those winding in which the pole pitch is less than 180-degree electrical, those windings are
Why we
short
do
pitched.
short pitching?
Sir, to reduce the harmonics.
Okay. Now, in any motor, right? So, what are the main components that we look for?
In any motor, what are the
any
main
motor.
components?
Main components. What should be the major components? What are the main components that should be there for efficient working?
Sir, I'm not getting the question, sir. Sir, in terms of
In
construction,
terms of construction.
so, field winding should be there to provide working plugs.
Okay.
Then armature conductor is required so that in EMF can induce, a current will be there so that it can experience force. Then, sir, it should be freely suspended so that it can rotate, and that is it. Sir.
Okay. Can you tell me what is the difference between mechanical angle and electrical angle?
Sir, it is sir. This mechanical angle is also termed as torque angle, and it is the angle between stator MMF and the resultant MMF. And so the angle between terminal voltage and induced EMF is load angle or power angle, sir.
No, that you are saying that in terms of application. But if you want to explain, okay, by definition, what is mechanical angle, what is electrical angle, and what is the relation between them?
Sir, electrical angle is little bit more. It gives us the indication about the electrical power supplied by the machine, and mechanical angle will give us the indication of how much mechanical power it is drawing from the turbine.
Okay, tell me why the electrical angle has been introduced. Why not mechanical angle?
So because these angles are different, sir. One is between the
Understood. Okay. Now, why we perform short circuit test and open circuit test on a transformer?
So purpose of these tests is to predict the performance analysis of the machine,
Like
to get the efficiency.
any other?
By getting the parameters, sir, we can predict about its voltage regulation, and sir, we can also get the circuit parameters.
Okay, for copper loss, which type of?
Short circuit test is done for copper loss, sir.
Okay. Now, what is the role of power electronics in controlling the electric machines?
So with the help of power electronic drives, we can control the speed of motor, sir.
Okay. Any other than the speed?
Sir, there are permanent. Sorry, sir. So there is one brushless DC motor where we are using this power electronic drive to even rotate the motor, sir.
Okay. Which type of motors are used in railway engines?
Sir, earlier DC motor is being used, but nowadays they're using three-phase induction motor.
So what is the advantage of this induction motor over the DC motors?
Sir, as induction motor is robust in its design, so throughout its life it will be maintenance less as compared to DC. Secondly, sir, so that is what I'm able to think right now, sir.
Okay. And my last question to you is, I will give you 2-3 name of the motors. You have to tell me the application, where we find its application.
Okay, sir.
Right? Hysteresis motor.
Sir, in sound recording, hysteresis motor is being used.
Servo motor.
So servo motor are used in position control.
Stepper motor.
Stepper motor is being used in printers,
Okay.
XY plotters.
Reluctance motor.
So reluctance motor, I think it is also being used in clocks, but not very sure, sir.
So that's all.
Okay,
Thank you, sir.
let's come back to your hobbies now. You like to play snooker.
Yes, ma'am.
How do you differentiate between billiards and snooker?
Ma'am, in snooker, we get the points by putting the balls in the pockets. Whereas in billiards, ma'am, we get the points by pocketing the ball. We also get the points by hitting the object ball and pocketing the white ball, which may be a foul in snooker. And then we also get point by cannoning the balls. So the scoring system is little different. And ma'am, the number of balls being used in snooker is 22, whereas in the billiards it is just 3 balls.
You also have a very interesting hobby of exploring eateries and street food.
Yes, ma'am.
So I'll be naming some foods which are very peculiar of Uttar Pradesh. You have to tell me, identify which area they are from. Petha.
Ma'am, it's from Agra.
Okay. Gulati kebab.
It is from Lucknow.
Tunde kebab.
Lucknow, ma'am.
Pan, which area is very
Banaras,
famous? Banaras, it is famous. You also have an interest in playing chess.
Yes, ma'am.
What is the stalemate and what is checkmate? Stalemate and checkmate. And how do you differentiate between the two?
Ma'am, when king is under threat and it has no square or any object, any piece it can bring in between that, so that person is checkmate. But whereas in stalemate, the king is not under threat, ma'am, but king is also and other pieces also not have any option to move to any other squares, ma'am.
So when we are not in the threat, but we still don't have an option to move, that's stalemate.
Yes, ma'am.
And when we are under threat and there's no other option to move, then it's a checkmate. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, fine. Who is the #1 world grandmaster as of now?
Ma'am, in shorter format, that is rapid and blitz format, Magnus Carlsen is the world #1. Whereas in classic format, ma'am, Ding Liren is currently in #1.
There was a computer named as Deep Blue.
Yes, ma'am.
Deep Blue, DEEP, Blue, BLU. Are
Okay,
you
ma'am.
aware?
No,
In
ma'am.
chess?
No, ma'am.
No idea. Okay. My last question, why engineering services? What's your motivation to be here?
Ma'am, in engineering service, I will get a chance to work in techno-managerial profile. The work is related to the formulation of policy. So, and ma'am, that is some reason I can think of right now.
Thank you. Your interview stands over here. We'll call you back for the interview, for the feedback. You may leave.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.
So, Mayank, the interview part is over. Now we'll have an informal feedback session. How was your experience? I mean, as compared to your first mock and now this mock.
Ma'am, I feel it's little bit better than previous one.
In fact, much better. That's the feedback of the panel. Non-tech areas, Mayank, you are an extreme treat for the interviewer. You have good communication skills. You have good confidence. You present your answers well. You have a good presence in the interview room. So that's the best part about you. Have some idea about the power scenario in Chhattisgarh.
Okay.
I mean, how is the state doing? How coal is the backbone of the entire, power scenario in Chhattisgarh, okay? And the various state level schemes which are there, the central government schemes which are implemented in Chhattisgarh. Chhattisgarh is a very interesting state. We also have some major issues and challenges faced by the state. So have some fair share of idea about Chhattisgarh, that will give you an edge, okay?
Yes.
I found you very well groomed. Tie will maybe add on to your personality. So wear a tie. And you must have some basic idea even about the application and the latest trends which are there in electrical engineering. For example, artificial intelligence, machine learning, electric vehicles,
Okay.
even the government schemes, the central government, the state government schemes, specifically your sector. Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Why ESC? Again, I found your answer very good. So non-tech, you're performing exceedingly well. How you perform technically, that will be a game changer. Okay? So let's ask sir.
Mayank, technically good, but in the power system, little some preparation is required.
Okay, sir.
And one more thing, sir asked one question regarding the differences between mechanical angle and electrical angle.
Yes, sir.
In that one, you use so many new answers. You introduce so many new terminology in that one.
Okay, sir.
Don't do wild guess. Actually, what will happen? Your entire impression changes.
Okay, sir.
You give us so many new statements about that question.
Okay, sir.
Please don't do like that.
So
Don't-
like that.
What electrical angle, mechanical? Sir asked one question.
Yes, sir. Yes.
You
Okay.
please, that is very very important. Actually,
sir.
entire impression change होता है.
Okay, sir.
Okay, be careful about that.
Yes, sir.
मयंक, सोलर सेल थोड़ा डिटेल में आपको देखना होगा.
Okay, sir.
ठीक है. लाइक आपने उसमें फॉरवर्ड बायस बोला था, उसमें रिवर्स बायस होते हैं.
Okay,
वो
sir.
सब आप देख लीजिए. और सोलर सेल रिलेटेड जो स्कीम्स हैं या सोलर रिलेटेड स्कीम्स लाइक अटल ज्योति योजना, कुसुम योजना, वो सब आप एक बार देख लीजिए.
Okay, sir.
मेनली जो पावर सेक्टर के स्कीम्स हैं गवर्नमेंट ऑफ इंडिया के, वो आप एक बार देख लीजिए. और इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल्स में आपने काफ़ी डाटा कलेक्ट किया है, ये तो
Yes.
अच्छी बात है. बट लिथियम आयन वर्सेस निकल कैडमियम या लिथियम आयन बैटरीज के क्या एडवांटेजेस हैं, क्या चैलेंजेस हैं, और फ्यूल सेल इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल है उसके क्या प्रॉब्लम्स हैं, तो वो आपको एक बार कवर करना होगा.
Okay, sir.
ठीक है.
मयंक, आपका टेक्निकल नॉलेज अच्छा है. चूँकि आप मशीन और पावर सिस्टम बोले थे,
Yes.
है ना, तो अब उसको आपको ठीक से ब्रश अप करना है.
Yes.
बेसिक हल्के क्वेश्चन, जो डिफ़िकल्ट क्वेश्चन जो होते हैं, जो बहुत कॉमन होते हैं, वो तो कर जाएंगे, लेकिन जो डेफिनेशन बेस्ड होता है
Yes.
उसको आप एक बार ब्रश अप कर जाओ, है ना. बेसिक जो होते हैं कॉन्सेप्ट जो हम लोग यूज़ करते हैं, बट हम लोग उस पर ज़्यादा ध्यान नहीं देते हैं. एक बार उसको ब्रश अप कर जाओ, बाकी यू आर गुड कैंडिडेट. ठीक है. That's all
Thank
from
you.
my side.
Thank you, Mr. Mayank. All the best. Thank you.
Thank you.
The marks that we've given is 125.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you,
I
sir.
think you've improved from the initial.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.